From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Monday, January the 9th, 2023. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu addressed his new government's planned overhaul of Israel's judicial system at his weekly cabinet meeting yesterday. Plans that have been causing controversy since Justice Minister Yariv Levin announced the new reforms last week. They would greatly limit the authority of Israel's High Court of Justice. Opponents of the judicial reforms, like former Defense Minister Benny Gantz, called them the dismantling of democracy, urging the public to demonstrate, as they did Saturday night in Tel Aviv. Over 10,000 Israelis gathered in protest of the new government and its planned judicial overhaul. Demonstrators included Labor Chief Merav Michaeli, who called the massive demonstration a huge show of strength. Netanyahu, meanwhile, defended the judicial reforms, telling his cabinet yesterday the effort to restore the correct balance between the authorities is not the destruction of democracy, but the strengthening of democracy, adding that it will be discussed seriously and in depth by the Knesset Law, Constitution, and Justice Committee, where all opinions, without exception, he said, will be heard. By the way, we will have an interview with Merav Michaeli from Jerusalem coming up after this newscast. The Times of Israel shared a comment from the U.S. State Department given to reporters who asked for comment on Israel's planned judicial overhaul, which reads, as a general matter, Israel's independent institutions are crucial to upholding the country's thriving democracy, and our shared democratic values are at the heart of our bilateral relationship. Also citing the fact that National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan is planning to fly to Israel next week to meet with senior officials in Netanyahu's government in order to better understand the matter. The Negev Forum Steering Committee met today in Abu Dhabi, a meeting attended by senior delegations from Abraham Accords countries, including Israel, the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, and Morocco, as well as the United States and Egypt. The meeting, which continues tomorrow, is in preparation for the Negev Forum Summit happening this spring in Morocco and is part of the implementation process of the Abraham Accords, with working groups meeting on issues like health, regional security, education and tolerance, water and food security, tourism and energy. Director of Israel's Foreign Ministry, Alon Ushpiz, who is leading the Israeli delegation in Abu Dhabi, wrote, "Together we are creating a safer, more prosperous and bright future for the region." The State Department said of the working groups, they aim to promote a more integrated and prosperous Middle East and North Africa by demonstrating what can be accomplished by working together to achieve tangible results, overcome shared challenges, and take advantage of opportunities for all the peoples of the region. Also writing, this framework for regional cooperation also seeks to strengthen the Palestinian economy and improve the quality of life of the Palestinian people. The Embassy of the Emirates in the U.S. announced last week that in the wake of the historic Abraham Accords, the UAE will now include the Holocaust in the curriculum for primary and secondary schools. U.S. Special Envoy to Monitor and Combat Anti-Semitism, Ambassador Deborah Lipstadt, welcomed the news, writing, "Pleased to see this important step by the United Arab Emirates. Holocaust education," she wrote, "is an imperative for humanity, and too many countries for too long continue to downplay the Shoah for political reasons. I commend the UAE for this step and expect others to follow suit soon." Well, if you're walking around New York City's Soho neighborhood in the next 9 months, you may come across a new mural honoring a Holocaust hero. Rescuer Tibor Baranski, who, as the art piece conveys, saved 3,000 Jewish lives in Nazi-occupied Hungary in 1944. The New York Jewish Week reports the 35 by 12-foot mural was painted by renowned graffiti artist Fernando Romero, organized by Artists for Israel and part of its Righteous Among the Nations global multimedia project, educating the next generation about the Holocaust through such art pieces which are popping up around the world. At the unveiling of the Baranski mural last month, the Jewish Week notes his son Tibor Jr. retold his father's story, stressing his strong Catholic faith that he says was at the core of his father's life-saving efforts. Tibor Jr. saying, love each other sincerely. God is love. Love destroys hatred. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Monday, January the 9th at 7 o'clock, a look at Jewish history in fiction. At 8, Abigail Pogrebin speaks with Rabbi and author Edward Feld, who talks about the Book of Revolutions, his epic saga that presents the Torah as an emblem of pluralistic belief that continues to speak to us today. At 8:30, remarks from Marie van der Zijl, Fernando, Lottenberg, and Boris Lozhkin during the Anti-Defamation League's Never Is Now conference. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with Kenneth Levin on L'chaim. At 10, historian Simon Shama speaks at the 92nd Street Y. And coming up next, as I mentioned, Knesset member and Labor Party leader Merav Michaeli discusses the challenges of the new Israeli government under Prime Minister Netanyahu, the controversial justice reform it is planning, and continuous struggles with the coalition, with Talia Dekel-Fleissig, Senior Vice President of the Jerusalem Press Club. And that's the JBS News Update for Monday, January the 9th, 2023. I'm Teisha Bader. Stay healthy, stay well.